Hello everyone, how's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's play some Gloomhaven, shall we? Picking up where we left off with our complete beginner's guide, and we need to go get that Spellweaver. So we're going to go head over here. Now we are in the city, but the story quest kind of wants us to go over here, so we don't have full access to what we can do in town at the moment. So let's go over here and travel. We need to build up the guild. Actually, no, we aren't in the city. The icon appeared to be like we were in the city, but we kind of started moving from where we were anyway. Asking around in Gibbet Hill, you are directed down a forest path towards some long-forgotten ruins. As you reach a clearing, you hear a commotion ahead. It seems some bandits have cornered an orchid woman. Is this who you have been told to find? Alright, so the Spellweaver has run into trouble out in the forest. Help her out, and she'll surely join the guild. I hope so. So let's see what we've got here. Alright, so as a true tutorial, we're going to start, and we're going to be the Spellweaver and learn about her kit. Meet the Spellweaver, a powerful but fragile magic wielder who can harness the natural elements of the world. Good thing we found her when we did. That's a lot of bandits, it is. To get her out of this mess, you'll need to harness the power of the elements infused in the battlefield. The elemental infusions display can be seen on the right of the screen, indicating which magical elements available for consuming. In this scenario, the ice element is already infused, but elements are normally infused for 2 rounds through using actions with elemental symbols on them available for consumption after the turn in which they are infused. This round you must consume the ice element to augment Freezing Nova's attack, killing as many bandits as you can. Survive the round by using a jump move to get out of reach. So there's a lot going on here that they're explaining, but it's done well, and we get to kind of see the power of the Spellweaver. So first of all, if there is an element that's infused, it's on the right of the screen. You'll see this kind of snowflake here, and you can mouse over it, and we'll explain Ice Element Strong. This element is available to be used for the rest of the round and the whole of the next round. Once it's used, it's unavailable for other characters. So like they said, 2 rounds. So it starts full here for a round, and then it will go to halfway full, meaning like it's only 1 round left, and then it dissipates unless you use it. And the quest says we need to consume the ice power to use Freezing Nova and kill the bandits, and we need to use a jump move. So we know we're going to do Freezing Nova, so let's just select that. It's the fastest initiative of our abilities, so we'll use this here. And we need a jump move, and Ride the Wind is our jump move. It's actually move 8, which is insane. One of the longest moves you'll see. It does burn it to use it, but that's okay. Now, it is worth looking at Freezing Nova here. So, Freezing Nova is an attack 2, and it hits every adjacent enemy and immobilizes them. So, it's going to hit them, and if they survive, it will lock them in place. And the symbol of the down arrow on the appropriate elemental infusion, so in this case ice, is the element that we need to drain, will give us +1 attack, meaning this will do 3 damage, theoretically. We do have all of the modifiers here. So we're going to end selection, and you can see they're going to go on 50, and they're going to use this ability, move 3, attack 2. So let's worry about that in a moment. First, we're going to select Freezing Nova. Now, if you select an ability that you can use an infused element from, then down in the bottom center of the screen, this square button with that element will show up, and you can mouse over and see what it does. It says Consume Ice for +1 attack. So right now, you could see every enemy that's on the screen, we're hitting them. And if we use this and select it, now it will dynamically update the damage to 3. And you can see the skulls, we're actually going to kill 1, 2, 3 of these, theoretically. And now, as I have clicked this, the element on the right is gone because it's being consumed by this character. Now, you can always undo if you want and start again and consume. And then once you're ready, we can confirm the attack here. Okay? Now, notice that it rolled differently for different targets. So we used, and you can mouse over this and see, we had 4 plus zeros and 2 plus ones, because those pips are grayed out, meaning like we used all of those right there. And we killed 3 of them. You see the gold piles. You see that some of them are hurt. And we know that they are going to move 3 and attack for 2. So we only have 2 health, so we got to get out of here. Well, we have this move that will burn, but it moves for 8 and has jump, which means these are obstacles. These big rocks right here. Remember, you can always just kind of like move the battlefield around to explore it. And you can also hold tab. So if we hold tab, we see the orange for the obstacles and the red for the enemies. So we need to move in a place where they can't move 3 and hit us. So, but I should say, we don't have to think that hard because they're immobilized. So all of these enemies have been immobilized, so they can't move, and that means as long as we move 2 tiles away, they're not going to be able to get to us. So we can use this, and then we can just move somewhere like this. Or we could go all the way back in the corner, whichever we want, or all the way back here, whatever. So I'm going to go... let's see. Let's just kind of explore. It doesn't appear that they're going to make me go anywhere else. So I'll just go way back here. And we go through the obstacle because we have jump. And we're done moving. So I'm just going to push T to end the movement. And we will push spacebar to end the turn. Alright, so now they can't move. You see the boot with the arrow through it. That means they were immobilized, and it says by consuming the ice element, Freezing Nova dealt 3 base damage instead of 2, knocking out 3 bandits plus applying the immobilized condition so the bandits couldn't chase after you is pretty darn powerful, eh? Ride the Wind also infused the arrow element for you to use later if need be, and that was the air symbol on the card below the move. There's no down arrow by it, which means like absorb or use the infused element. If you just see the elemental symbol, that means that you will infuse the battlefield with that. Battlefields can be infused with more than one element at the same time. You may have also noticed, with only 3 unburnt cards remaining, the Spellweaver will be exhausted after the next round is over, as you cannot return burned cards via resting. Fortunately, the Spellweaver has a very powerful trick up her sleeve. Many of her powerful cards may burn after usage, but the top half of Reviving Ether allows her to return all of her burned cards to her hand. Getting the timing right on this one-time recovery per scenario of all burned cards is key to using Spellweaver well, and this is true. This is an amazing ability that she has. It's unique. Not any other class that I've seen with their starter deck has that ability to recover burned cards in that way. But if you misuse the card, you use it too early, or you don't time it right, it can burn you. No pun intended. And I've had this happen where I have accidentally only had that card left. Or let's say I had that card and another card left, and I thought I was fine. But then I burned one of her cards, because lots of her cards burn, and then I realized, oh no, I only have half a card left, and she dies. Or becomes exhausted. So you got to watch out for this. You got to get the sequencing right. It's up to you. Kill the remaining bandit guards. Reviving Ether will recover all of your burned cards, so you can finish these bandits off at your leisure. All right. So this is true. We can finish them off at our leisure. Now we have to take a short rest right here because we only have 1 card. We need 2. Now they want us to burn Reviving Ether, which we cannot let happen, so we have to redraw by taking a damage, and then we burn Freezing Nova. But that's okay, who cares, because we're going to use this to recover our cards. So we'll take Flame Strike first, because it's fastest, and Reviving Ether next. Just be careful, do not use the top half of Flame Strike knee-jerk, because you need to use the top half of Reviving Ether. We're going to end selection. So they're going to move 2 and attack 2 at 55. So that's kind of scary. And, you know, let's say I want to do this. Okay, I'm going to do this, and I need to attack this guy. So it's worth noting right here, if I hover over my character and I hold L, this begins drawing line of sight. And then if I go to this character, as long as all of these lines that are radiating out to draw line of sight are white, like this means I have line of sight. I have line of sight here, I have line of sight here. It's all white lines. You just kind of move around. Now you start to see red lines when you can't see, but all of this we can see. This obstacle blocks movement, but it does not block line of sight, which is incredibly important because this guy can move too. You can mouse over the bandit guard up here, and you can see he's going to move too and attack too. That would kill us. So we don't want that to happen, so we're just going to confirm this target and try to kill them. And we got +2, so dead. And then now we're going to use this reviving ether top half to recover all of our burned cards. We will also infuse the dark element right here. So we're going to confirm target. And there we go. And we will end the turn. So you can see we created the dark element. And now there's an air element, but it's waning. So it's only here for another round. And they've moved and they are now blocking. Or whatever, they're banging their shield. So now the air element that was waning is gone, and dark has one turn left. So now we can use dark if we have it. But they're both coming at us, and we don't know what they're going to do. So it's time for us to do as much damage as we possibly can. Now, I'm going to... I think that Freezing Nova is our... I'm sorry, Fire Orbs is the play that we want. And the question is, do I want to heal myself and then do Fire Orbs? Or do I want to... well, yeah, I'm going to Mana Bolt Fire Orbs. I'm going to do it this way just because Mana Bolt is a 7, so it's the fastest. We know we want to use the top half of Fire Orbs. Why do I want to use this? It's attack for 3 damage at a range of 3, and it can target 3 enemies. It does burn it, but it should be enough to kill these guys. So I'm going to go say okay. And they're going to go on 30. So let's just first of all see if we can kill them. I'm going to use Fire Orbs and just select 1 and 2. So we target both of them. You see the red hex underneath them. They have been targeted. Their health bar is blinking. They have a skull. This should kill them, provided we draw the right modifiers. And then we're going to confirm the targets, 2 out of 3, because we only have 2 targets that we can use. You cannot duplicate a target. Times 2. -1, but it's enough to kill them. Okay. And now, even though they're dead, it's not over because I get to do the bottom half. Now, if I could move far enough, I would move up to pick up the gold. I cannot, but I can heal myself. And this can be very important to, like, economically heal when you have a moment. So it's not a waste to just do that. It doesn't burn the card. I just get a free heal right there. And we did it. Victory. For helping her out of that bind, the Spellweaver has agreed to join our guild. As you saw, her abilities can be incredibly potent, but she can be a difficult character to work with due to the complexity of her tactics. Alright, so we're going to return to the map. That's the elemental schools of magic covered. Perhaps we could do with recruiting someone who understands high-tech contraptions and such. I swear there was a Quatril Tinkerer messing about with a power core or some other artifact in the tavern not too long ago. Good call. I heard he was looking for fellow explorers to investigate a tomb nearby. Barkeep said he set off yesterday. Sounds to me like the sort who might be interested in joining a guild such as our own. Let's see if we can find him. Alright, so now we have this mission Brain over Brawn to recruit the Tinkerer, and looks like they've gone down here. So we're going to select it, and we will travel. The trainer informs you that the Quattrol had been seen heading to the basement underneath an abandoned mansion to the south of the city. You reach the mansion and find the front door wide open and small footprints in the thick dust. You follow these to a door to the deep, dark basement. All right, so we're gonna. Something that's always nice about this game is you can see what enemy types there will be, so it looks like we can fight living bones. Now, you don't know how many there are, and if there's multiple enemies, you don't know which room is going to contain which enemy, but it gives you a way to kind of prepare so that you can make good choices with your cards and your sequencing based on what enemies you see. And we're going to enter the dungeon. Meet the Tinkerer. He's a great support character to have on a team, but can also take on multiple enemies in a pinch. Looking at all these skeletons, I'd say this counts as one. Currently, he's wounded and will take 1 damage at the start of his turn, so you ought to heal him as soon as possible with that minor health potion. Looking at where the enemies in this room are, I'd advise you to go as late as possible this round. Sometimes it's better to go slow and let the enemies come to you, so you aren't at risk of being attacked. Then you can use one of the Tinkerer's famous area effect attacks to deal some serious damage to multiple enemies at once. You can recognize such abilities by their hex-shaped patterns on the ability card, showing you the shape of the area it will target. Okay, so right now, we see here's the room that we're in, and let's kind of move the camera around. Here's the bones over here. There's 4 of them. Some of them are hurt, some of them are not. They have a shield. Some of them, no, they all do. And we need to heal and hit 3 living bones this round. So as they said, the bones are way back here. Now, if I mouse over them, it looks like their movement is about 3. They might be able to draw a better moving card, but there's pretty much no way, and we can look where the obstacles are by holding tab right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That these guys will be able to move 5 and attack. So we can stay where we are. And energizing tonic can heal us, but it will burn. And that is a factor because we only have 1 discarded card. Now, Ink Bomb is the card we're looking at. This is attack 4, range 3, and it does this pattern of hexes is what it hits. So you can see like it hits this kind of triangle of hexes, and you need to make sure that there are 3 targets in that configuration so that we can meet the condition of hitting 3 living bones this round. So this goes very slowly. And we also have some other ranged attacks that we can use. We want to use the top half of Ink Bomb and maybe the bottom half of Toxic Bolt, perhaps. So we're going to take Ink Bomb first and Toxic Bolt second and not the other way around, because if we took Toxic Bolt, chances are we'd go before these bones, and then we wouldn't be able to hit anybody and we'd lose. So we're going to end selection, and here they go. They're going on a 45, and they're going to move 3. So they're all going to move up, most probably, to try to get close to us. And what do you know? They're in that telltale position. Okay, so we've been damaged, or we're going to take damage right now, and we have a choice of what to do about that damage. We could burn a card or receive the damage. We are going to receive the damage. It will not kill us, but right away what we want to do is use our healing potion. So this will heal us and remove the wound. You may have noticed that if you use a heal potion or ability when wounded, the character not only recovers hit points, but loses the wound condition. Amazing. Healing can also remove a poison condition, but in that case, you'll only remove the condition and regain no hit points. This is why poison is brutal, because if you heal, you don't get any hit points. But if memory serves, if you are poisoned and you get hit, you take extra damage. Pretty sure that's how it works, or maybe that just triggers other abilities, but it ain't good. Okay, so now it's our turn, and we need to hit 3. So let's select the top half of Ink Bomb, because we know we want to use this. And when I move this around, you will see that there is a pattern that I'm hitting, but if I don't like how this pattern is rotated, I can push R to move it around. So for example, this would hit 3. You could see 3 arrows there, but I could also rotate it and hit the 3 on the right. Just depends on how I want to organize this. So I'm actually going to hit the ones that are closest to me, like this, just so if this guy survives, he has to move a little farther to hit me. So I'm going to show you that if I select this, I get to choose before it goes, I get to confirm, and you can see 3 red hexes. They're all targeted. So I'm just going to confirm the targets, and we're going to use the ink bomb, and it killed one, and it hit the other ones, and so we complete the objectives here. And now we still have an action. So I'm going to attack, and we can take... oh, never mind. I was going to say we could take somebody down, but we cannot, because we only have range 2. So this would burn the Toxic Bolt card. So because I only have range 2, I'm honestly just going to click on default move, and I'm not even going to move because I don't want to get closer to them. So I'm just going to push T to skip movement and push spacebar to end the turn. So we infused a dark element. Boom. Ink bomb was pretty good, huh? It was. I'll leave you to finish off the rest of these bad guys. Did you know you can rotate the shape of an area of effect by pressing, and then there's nothing there, but it's R. The R key rotates, as I just explained. Okay, so now we're going to need to take a short rest. And what do we want to burn? Well, net shooter is good. It does a bunch of damage. Now, granted, if we do this, we will lose, but I don't think that the game will make us play another turn. So I'm okay with this burning. And we'll do energizing tonic and then net shooter like this. So they're going on 64. I took energizing tonic first because it's fast, but I'm going to do net shooter, and I'm going to rotate it around so that we hit all of them. I'll click it, and you can see the 3 hexes are red, and this should kill them all. And it does. And I'll move and just get some gold, I guess. Push T, end the turn. Get an experience, get a gold. Now, normally that would be a terrible play because we would have burned our remaining cards and die, but this is just the tutorial mission, so all you have to do is complete the objectives. Victory. This little guy packs quite the punch, huh? Let's sign him up and look for some paid jobs for the guild to take on. Return to the map. Alright, sweet. We're getting a proper mercenary guild together now. Speaking of paid jobs, I've met someone who has requested our help. And it's the Keeper of the Oak. Peace be with you. I'm the priestess here, sworn to the sanctuary of the Great Oak. I thank you for meeting with me, as we at the sanctuary are in dire need of assistance. You see, the holy crypt in the catacombs beneath the sanctuary has been broken into and defiled by deranged cultists, raising hordes of undead to do their nefarious bidding. I beg thee, please help us be rid of this menace. All too common an occurrence these days, anyhow. Sounds like an opportunity to try out our two latest recruits together. Get to it. So, they want us to go investigate the undead infestation right here. And they want us to use our new recruits as well. So this is where we're going to not be... If I mouse over this, you'll see that, this is the Tomb of Horrors, and if I select it, there's no reward that's indicated, but we're going to fight a living bones and a living corpse, which is a big, kind of bloated enemy with 5 health, and not very much movement, but a lot of damage. So now we're really getting into it. We've unlocked the Spellweaver and Tinkerer in this episode, and now we're going to get back into going out and fighting and learning to do this with multiple mercenaries. And I really, really have to say, because this is my first time doing Guildmaster mode as I explain the game in this guide, the campaign mode is a lot of fun and gives you more freedom, but it does not guide you as gently as this does. And this is explaining things in a way and kind of gating you so that you don't do what I did, which was make a big party and kind of rush headlong and not be prepared for everything that was capable of happening in the game. So I like this more gradual approach. You can tell that they really, really worked on trying to ease new players into the game with this Guildmaster scenario, and I'm really enjoying it. So everyone, this is a good place to end this episode of our guide series. When we resume, we'll pick up fighting the Tomb of Horrors. I hope you're still finding this series to be useful and fun. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Take care.